All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Great day, great trend day. A little choppy and ugly in the morning, but hey, gapped up 6 points. I'm sorry, gapped up 4 points in the pre-market. Chop around, right, until it finally figured out a direction. All right, broke over, tested 400 like multiple times, right, and pulled back to 399 and rocket to 401.60s high of the day. So here's the interesting thing that we have to be aware of going into tomorrow. Even though the charts all look very, very bullish, is that we have to consider if we hit 402 in the morning, where do we go from there? So you got a ton of volume here on the 1 hour chart. Okay. And you can see this volume gap, right? Once we blew through that volume gap, it went up pretty rapidly, right? So these volume profiles are so good. But if we start pulling back tomorrow, I want to see that we can actually hold 400 or possibly even down to 399. If that doesn't hold, I do think that, hey, if we run up too fast in the morning, I probably want to buy some puts just to see how it goes tomorrow. We do have data, jobless claims, initial jobless claims, and also GDP data tomorrow. So a lot can happen in the pre-market. So, we do have this wide gap that needs to fill at some point, but we'll go with the momentum for now for the upside. So, you got definitely a lot of support and demand here at the 399 level. Once again, earlier in the live, I mentioned this TTM BBKC squeeze. You guys can go to your indicators on TrendSpider, just type in TTM, and this indicator will come up. You can just use the preset values, and it's been very good in terms of looking at the breaks. Okay. The squeezes that happen. I guess, you could treat it kind of like a MACD, but on the daily, it just flipped blue. When it flips blue, we got some momentum. When it flips the orange or yellow, you got downside momentum. So far, if you're looking at my chart here, a bullish breakout out of this wedge that I've been talking to you guys about for several weeks now, that some big move is eventually going to come. And I think today is one of those prelude to that move. So upside target, we had an upside target of 446, which was this simple moving average 50. We closed pretty well above it. Okay, so that's a bullish candlestick. The only thing is, be wary of this gap. Okay, so anything can happen. Now, I've also mentioned that, let's look at the Qs first. Okay, so the Qs on the daily, right, held the support of the EMA 950 and gap up. There's a gap down at 307. So the big spot's going to be got to watch tomorrow is that if we can hold the 310, 311 level. And today we held that 310, 311 really well. And then you have big time resistances up to 315. And this is the FOMO Powell speech, okay, and Yellen speech. Anything can happen tomorrow. So if we run up too fast, in the pre-market, these are sell zones, okay? So you can see a lot of profit taking as well. Now, I do want to mention one thing here, and this is the monthly chart, okay? I'll take away and this is something that we got to watch over the next couple of days because, as you know, end of the month is coming, end of the quarter is coming in the next 2 days, okay? I'm really interested to see where this volume is. Now, I know in the last 2 to 3 days on the upside, there hasn't been a ton of volume. But guess what, folks? People loaded the lows here, okay? Your smart money is already loading. Yes. Will they some point take profit? Absolutely. We have to be open to that. However, if you look at the monthly chart here, okay, this is what I'm looking for to see how we close before at the end of the week, Friday. This is the COVID crash. Okay, the COVID crash here, March 2020, right? We hit, this is the SPY hit about 217 and rip faces, okay? Literally 100 something percent rip, okay, over the course of 2 years. You had significant buying volume April 2020, okay? And look at that volume. And we haven't seen that type of volume since March 2021, okay, when people bought that dip, all right? Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So far, we're almost there to the levels so far of this particular May 2022, March 2022, and March 2021. If this volume over the next 2 days can clear this volume and actually look something like April of 2020, I think that's a positive signal. All right. But so far, if we were to close the month today, all right, you have a kind of a daily hammer kind of stuck between a 950 cloud. SMA 20 is right here at 418. That's where we sold off on in February, right? When we had that big pump to 418 and sold off. That 20-day moving average, I would not be shocked. All right. This is why we're Club 410. Is I would not be shocked that this price starts catching up so far to the SMA 20 on the monthly charts. On the weekly chart, bullish hammer. Okay. Big boys loaded up 3 weeks ago. All right. When will they sell? I don't know. All right. However, there's seemingly enough so far by clearing the SMA 20 so far this week. We cleared the SMA 20 so far this week. Could look for a retest of 397 where that SMA 20 on weekly is. Okay. But so far, this has a bullish look. 3 green straight weeks on the S&P 500 index. Not too bad. Okay. Even with the higher lows, the higher highs, breaking 403 will be key tomorrow, I think, or before end of the month. Therefore, you have a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, those are certainly possibilities. All right, so that's what I would look for. 402, 403 is where we got to thread a little bit more carefully, maybe even take some profit on the July calls. All right, so I think that's it. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the morning.